you guys, it's me, Laura. I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 kids, ages 12, 10, and 5, and today I'm going to share with you my overambitious August TBR for the month. And this won't include books that I'm reading with my kids that are related to their homeschool, but things that I'm reading for me personally and also for the curriculum that I am writing. So I'm still finishing up this one from last month. I still have a little ways to go in it, and I did not make it to this one, so it is going to go back on my TBR shelf, and hopefully I can pick it up again later because I really want to read it. It looks super cute. So for this month, as far as my TBR, I have a ton of books, but there's also a lot of early chapter books that I feel like should be pretty quick reads. So the first book I have, this has been on my TBR for a while. I'm still slowly working my way through it. This is called Bringing Words to Life. It's about robust vocabulary instruction. It's actually really good and I'm getting a lot from it, but this type of reading is really hard for me. I actually prefer to do this kind of reading as an audio, but there is no audiobook. And then I will reference the print. There's no audiobook for this one, so it's just a really slow trudge my way through, and one of these days I'll be done with it, but it is on my TBR for this month. I also have a couple NetGalley books. The first one is Eagle Drums. There's not really much to see about it, but it is by, I know I'm gonna slaughter this, Nasugrak Rainey Hobson. And this one, I'm trying to remember. See, I request a lot of these books, but I don't remember a whole lot. I know that this one has a lot to do, I think, with Native American folklore and tradition and things like that, and so it looked really good, so I requested that one and got approved, so I'm excited to read that. Another one that I was super excited to get approved for on NetGalley is The Secret Sisters by Avi, and you guys have probably heard me talk about how excited I am about it. This is the sequel to the book The Secret School by Avi, which we did for a unit study in the 1920s, and we absolutely loved it, and I'm super excited to find out more about Ida and what happens to her, and technically could have waited, but I saw it on NetGalley and I was like, oh, I have to read it. I also have another Kindle read that's not NetGalley, but just one that I already had on my Kindle, which is The Lost Year. This one is by Catherine Marsh, which I really actually enjoy a lot of her stuff. And this one is about the Ukrainian famine. Now, I recently read, let's see, I think I have it here. I recently read this one about the famine in Ukraine called Winter Kill, and I really enjoyed it. It was really heavy, but I've heard so much about this one, and I was actually interested in this one before I knew this one existed. So anyway, I'm gonna finally get to it, and I'm interested to see how the two compare and which one I end up liking better, or if they're both just really good for different reasons or different perspectives. So I'm really interested in this one. You'll see a lot of these are library books. I'm trying really hard to use books from the library and request books at my library and not buy quite so many books. So I'm trying really hard to do that. But this one is called Harper and the Raptor Rescue, and this is a new series that's going to be starting for this like earlier chapter book level. And this one is all about critter camp, and I think each of the books looks at one of the different campers who's taking care, they all learn to take care of a particular kind of creature while they're at camp. And so I thought this might be a fun one to read and see if it might be good to incorporate into curriculum. This one is Return to the Lands of Luxury, and I actually had wanted to read it on NetGalley, but I wasn't able to get to it before it was archived and in time to give a pre-review. So I had it ordered at the library, and I'm really excited to read it. It seems like a really sweet story. It talks a lot about trash and finding the right things, and this girl who lives basically in a place of trash, and she finds this doll that has a tag on it that says, "Please return to Gloria." And so I think this is about her quest to try to return the doll and find the lands of luxury, I guess. So anyway, I don't know a whole lot more about this, but I know that when I was reading about it on NetGalley, it looked really good, and I've seen a lot of social media stuff around it the last little bit, and it's really got me even more excited. So I'm eager to read this one. This one is How to Stay Invisible, and this one I saw when I was working, and I thought, oh, I need to read that one. And it's about 12-year-old Raymond who's never had a place to call home, and he's living in a trailer in a brand new state. They move around a lot, and so he gets his fishing pole and a survival guide from the library, and he doesn't tell anyone his secret that he's just basically relying on himself and on his own. Basically, he's learning about trusting animals, trusting people, trusting all the things. And so I don't know. Anyway, this looked really appealing to me, so I'm definitely going to be reading this one as well. This is another one that's going to be a really quick read. It's called Girl in the Tree, Squirrelish, and it seems like it's about a girl who kind of wants to be a squirrel. She's kind of squirrelish. Anyway, she lives in a tree, and that's really all I know of this one, but it looks like a quick, cute read, so we'll see. We'll see what happens with this one. And I have Switchers by Christopher Talon. I've been following him on Instagram for a little while. I met him through a friend of mine on Instagram, and I was intrigued. So I've been wanting to get this for a while, and so finally I did, and this will be my adult read for the month, and we'll see. We'll see. It's a time slip novel, I believe, and so those I didn't think I liked, but I kind of have fun with them. So this will just be hopefully kind of a fun read that's just different from what I'm used to. And I'm just excited to dive into that as well. And I've got two more. These are shorter ones as well. This is Sija Sinha. Okay, please tell me how to say that because I know I'm getting that wrong. Sija Sinha? Battles of Superstorm. So this is also a very early chapter book series that's coming out that has science-y kind of themes to it. Again, another one that I'm reading for my curriculum to see if this is a good fit for that. And the last one that I have is Essie and the March on Selma. So this is from a fairly new series called Girls Survive. There's a couple more they've come out with. Claudia in the Storm about Hurricane Katrina, Fumiko and the Tokyo tragedy about the earthquake, Millie and the Great Drought about the Dust Bowl, and this is Essie and the March on Selma, a Bloody Sunday survival story. So these I'm really interested in because they are a little bit easier, but they're actually not written for the age group that you would think for this. They're actually written for about a 6th grade level as far as content. But the writing is a little bit easier than that, and because they're short books, they're more accessible. So I would like to have a few books like this that I can pair with some units and things like that for kids who might be struggling with reading a little bit or just haven't quite taken off yet, but are older and want that heavier content in their reading. So I'm going to read this and see if this will fit the bill for that, because that would be really awesome if it did. So that is my huge TBR for the month. I don't know if I'll get through it all, but I'm sure gonna try. And I would love to know what you guys are reading, what you've been enjoying, what you plan to read this month, what you're excited to read about in August, and if any of these look interesting to you or if you've read them already, I'd love to know your thoughts on them. And that is all that I have for you today. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.